Okay, ladies and gentlemen, in this panel discussion session, first I would like to inform you all that there will be one presentation will be made by Dr. Andriono, representing from Siamolek, and the rest of the panelists will remain seated, and then after that we will continue with panel discussion. For that purpose, then I would like to invite Dr. Andriono from Siamolek to present your presentation, and take your time.
Thank you, Chairman, for this opportunity. Ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased to be here today as representing Siamolek, and Dr. Gatot Hari Priyanto, the director of Siamolek, could not come here, and I would like to share my view in the kick-off meeting of Inter-University Consortium for Global Health. It is a consortium between Indonesia and German university. Before I begin with my presentation, allow me to recall very briefly the objective to establish Inter-University Consortium. As you might know, the Indonesian Ministry of Education and Culture and the German government has close cooperation, as mentioned by Your Excellency Ambassador from Germany, and also our ambassador in Berlin, that in the scope of cooperation in the field of education and science. Since 2011, both parties agree to enhance the cooperation with the implementation of the Indonesian-German Cooperation Scholarship Program, or IGSP, funded by Debt Swap for Development. The objective of IGSP is to increase the quality of higher education in Indonesia, especially human resource development through Debt Swap Program 7. The government of Germany committed to swap the Indonesian debt up to 18,769,069 euro for the postgraduate scholarship in Germany from 2011 to 2015. As implementation in 2012, IGSP has granted 14 young lecturers from several Indonesian universities to obtain PhD program in German university. Since 2013, the number of PhD scholarship holder has increased steadily until now reaching 42 PhD candidates. The rise in number still need to be improved. That is very important. All 42 scholarship holder will take PhD program in several distinguished German university. They come from Institut Teknologi Bandung, Universitas Indonesia, Institut Pertanian Bogor, Universitas Gajah Mada, Universitas Syah Kuala Banda Aceh, Universitas Hasanuddin, Tanjung Pura in Sentral Kalimantan, Universitas Pajajaran, Universitas Jenderal Sudirman, Diponegoro, Institut Seni Yogyakarta, Brawijaya in Malang, so many, and last but not least is Swiss German University in Tangerang. The next joint selection committee of IGSP scholarship program will be held in November 18 until 19 in Jakarta. Ladies and gentlemen, in order to increase the number of PhD candidates, the Indonesian Ministry of Education and Culture has also developed fast-track scholarship program for young scientists with excellent performance to fulfill the objective of IGSP, or Indonesian German Scholarship Program. The outstanding potential candidate from several study programs and university will accomplish the undergraduate and magister program only for 5 years. So, and then he or she continue their PhD program in Germany. Another important program to enhance the research capacity building, the ad hoc committee of IGSP established new scheme proposed for the second batch of IGSP through strengthening linkage between Indonesian and German academic institutions. One of the proposed consortium is Inter-University Consortium for Global Health here in Gadjah Mada University, and also together with 5 university, UNAN, Andalas, Universitas Sudirman, Undip, and Gadjah Mada. Ladies and gentlemen, let me mention the program developed by ad hoc committee of IGSP. The first is Human Resource Development for Magister and PhD program for 2,000 candidates. In other words, capacity building for university lecturer and assistant lecturer in for 10 years. This program, Magister and PhD, will help in Germany as the second phase of IGSP in the scheme of debt swap for development between Indonesia and Germany. The second, enhancing the research capacity building in Indonesia University. The program will invite 100 professor and associate professor from German university to Indonesia. So it means that similar as now Professor Rainer Sauerborn will stay here for maybe 1 month for conduct the research here in Indonesia. Hopefully. The cooperation between scientists and professor as well as associate professor from both countries should conduct and develop new research topic and agenda. The third, establish research laboratory in 10 universities in Indonesia as manifest of synergy between faculty and professor from both countries. So the result should be the laboratory which developed here in Indonesia is similar as the laboratory in the university in Germany. To give the information, the proposed Center of Excellence, one of them is now Inter-University Consortium for Public Health. We have its proposal to conduct the center. The first is Center for New and Renewable Energy. Initiate University is Institute Teknologi 10 November in Surabaya. The second, Telecom Cooperation Center for Community of Practice in Engineering, initiated by University of Indonesia. Center for Water Structure and Renewable Energy, initiated by University of 11 Maret and Universitas Gadjah Mada. Fourth is Center for Public Health here by Gadjah Mada, and now is 4 university. Five is Center for Food Security and Technology, initiated by Gadjah Mada University, IPB, and Universitas Syah Kuala. Sixth, Center for Climate Change and Ocean Technology, initiated by Universitas Jenderal Sudirman, Undip, Diponegoro, IPB, and Universitas Mataram. Seventh, Center for Sanitation and Water Resources, initiated by Institut Teknologi Bandung. Eighth, Center for Transportation and Logistics, initiated by Universitas Sultan Ageng Tirtayasa in Banten. To conclude my presentation, I would like to congratulate the initiator of Inter-University Consortium for Public Health in establishing the important Center of Excellence for Global Health, especially to my colleague from Institute of Public Health, University of Heidelberg, Mr. Rainer, and also Bapak Jody. Congratulations and have a good stay here in beautiful city of Yogyakarta. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Andriono, for very attractive presentations. And now we have time for panel discussion. For that purpose, I would like to invite some questions from the audience. That we start with the first round of this discussion session. Please raise your hand and identify yourself, and if it's possible, to which panelist that this question address. Please, yeah. 1, 2, 3. Let's start with 4, 5. Start with the first 5 questions. Please start with Dr. Didi, please.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. His Excellency German Ambassador to Indonesia, His Excellency Indonesian Ambassador to Germany, also representative from Siamolek, coordinator of IUCGH from Indonesia and Germany. First of all, thanks very much for this opportunity. And after listening to the presentation from Pak Andriono about the IGSP 1 and also the proposed programs for the DS2, please correct me if I'm wrong. I tried to calculate from your description the absorption of quota for IGSP 1 seems to be quite low. Sorry to say. Yeah, you mentioned about the allocation of almost 19 million euro, but for 2011 up to 2015, but so far only maybe 10% are spent. And from the technical point of view, looking at why the absorption has been so low, because Indonesia is a huge country. Why is it so difficult to find candidates in Indonesia? We have thousands of universities. This is just my personal point of view. First, the dissemination of IGSP program might need to be more enhanced. I tried to ask some of my colleagues from different universities, and many of them don't know about this program. So maybe just uploading on the web is not enough. There should be some more proactive measures in order to disseminate as widely as possible this program. And secondly, also transparency of the procedures. Many people don't know where to ask, because on the brochure there is only the email and also the website, and when we try to get into the website, we could not get into the website, and also when we try to email, at times the response are not really prompt. And thirdly, also from the German side, I think we all know that the recruitment process of a PhD candidate is quite, if I may say, unclear timeline. You cannot predict when you actually are able to start your PhD program, because there are several administrative procedures that students have to go through, and especially to get the, if I'm not mistaken, Sulasung letters, it may take from 1 to 12 months, whereas the allocation is only for 36 months, so you already finished 12 months to wait for this letter. If I may get some descriptions from His Excellency Ambassador German to Indonesia, is there any way to to assist the Indonesian to spend this money. We have so much money to spend, but some technical and bureaucratic procedures might be able to be streamlined, or there might be some efforts that can be done from both sides, so that the very good idea of enhancing cooperation between Indonesia and Germans can be accelerated, because the money is there, the demand is there, but why we cannot absorb this money? Because if another program, the S2, which is still in the planning process, if we look at the performance of the S1, which is quite slow, how about the S2? So some people are quite worried. But from the academician, from the university's point of view, we are very much eager. We have high spirit and enthusiasm. We have been working quite hard for almost 1 year to put up the proposals for the DS2 to establish IUC, Inter-University Consortium for Global Health. But however, looking at what Pak Andriono presented, that it seems to have been decided that you are going to send 100 professors, you are going to set up 10 labs. But in fact, in our proposal, there are more activities that we propose, and we would like to know how flexible we can propose in the DS2. And every time when we ask about the what we call the quota, or what is roughly the allocated budget for this, we don't know yet. So we are preparing proposal in an uncertainty. So we would like to know about all these information. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
One more issue that also hinders the absorption of the scholarship. That is, from my colleagues, we know that the scholarship only covers, as Professor Reiners mentioned in the morning, air ticket, airfare also, and living costs. We know that for PhD student, research is very important component, and if we don't provide research grants to the PhD students, then usually the PhD students will do research with their own professors, which might not be suitable with the needs of the Indonesian conditions. But if there can be incorporated in the funding scheme, the research grants for each PhD candidate, then the PhD candidate and the professor or the supervisor can develop research proposal which are suitable for the needs and the demand of Indonesia. And also, we assume if you send so many PhD students to Germany within 5 years, in the next 5 years, we have, thousands of PhD returnees to Indonesia. So what will we do for them? They need good laboratories, they need good infrastructure, good regulations to accommodate their ambitions for doing high quality research. So in the DS2, in our proposal, we plan to strengthen our research infrastructure in order to accommodate all these PhD returnees. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Putiti, and I hope you didn't take all the questions remaining. The second question from this side, Pak. No question? Yeah, please.
Thank you very much. My name is Wawan from Mullah Rahman University in East Kalimantan. So as we have already mentioned by Fayodi, that in developing this consortium, we have constraint in the budget to support some activities before we have DevSpec 2. Besides each 5 university finance support proposed, I just want to propose empowering collaboration and partnership with what we have institution here. For example, in Indonesia, we have Indonesian National Council for Climate Change, regulated by President Decree number 46 in 2008. That's headed by President Yudhoyono. And that in the structure we have working group and division, but without global health. I mean, I just maybe I would be very much appreciate to consider if Rector or maybe the head of this consortium to ask this institution. I think they are more than willing to help this consortium because there's a lot of money. I mean, in the national level. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And the next question is, it's Wika, and then that too. Please, Wika. Yeah.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. My name is Ika Dewi Ana. I am the Director for Partnership and Alumni in the university, but also working in a medical sciences background. I am a dentist by training, like that. What I would like to know here is to Pak Adriono. Yeah. I believe that the form of the consortium will be a good way to share responsibilities to soon to develop our country in terms of the research, in terms of collaboration with industry, for example, because I learned from one of the consortium in Belgium, VIB. There is a very, very strong consortium of 5 universities, and the products of the biotechnology products of the consortium used by the industry in Belgium and also distributed all over the world while nurturing young scientists in a VIB. So I think that we would like to have 10 consortium under the CIMOLEC and the Ministry of Education and Culture. Will it be possible also to encourage other consortium for rather than the 10 you mentioned before? And my second question is to Prof. Reiner. Yeah, you mentioned about capacity building, that it will be very good if we can send our students to German universities and also send our young scientists as a postdoctoral fellows in German universities, like that. However, I also think that it can also fasten the capacity building if German universities send the postdoctoral fellows to our country. Although, for example, maybe as in my laboratory, the equipment and so on is left behind some other universities in other countries. However, when the postdoctoral fellows working in our laboratory, it will help us very much on that. So will it be also possible for that scheme under the research collaboration? Thank you.
Thank you, Vika. And the next one, please.
Thank you very much. I would like to address my question to Pak Andri. I have some question, but most of my question has been delivered by other questioner. And there is one specific question I would like to know more about opportunity of the potential candidate from several study program and university which will involve in a program which is said here that they will accomplish the undergraduate and master program only for 5 years. My question is when this program will start and in which area, because you said several, maybe there is a specific area which will be the focus for this program, and what's the prerequisite for the student to how to say to join this program? Thank you.
Thank you. And last question for this session. Let's start with the first 5, and we will go for the second round again after the last question. Okay.
Thank you, Professor Sri Raharjo. Pak Andriono, I would like to address short question. First, we have see that in your presentation there are 8 research centers proposed. My question, who are the decision maker who will accept or reject of this proposal? And the second one, could you please inform us when will exactly the fund through debt swap 2 can be applied in the activity of these research centers in the beginning of 2014 or in the mid of 2014? Thank you very much.
Okay, we would stop for the first round, and I would like to have the panel respond to these questions. May not be individually, but overall. It seems that many questions was addressed to Dr. Andriono, and then followed by others to respond. Please, Dr. Andre.
Thank you, Bapak Moderator. Yeah, as we know that Ibu Titi, yeah, the absorption of scholarship in IGSP, Indonesian German Scholarship Program, is very low. That's right. So that's why the committee discuss how to increase the absorption. As you know, that to send the candidate to Germany for PhD program, for example, that is not only decided by Indonesian professor, but is decided by joint selection committee. This is from German and Indonesian professor. So it means that the requirement to receive this scholarship is very high. So that's why the absorption of the scholarship is very low in the first year. But in the second year and the third year, we try to increase, but still low. So that's why one of solution is, I think I will answer also Pak dari Pak Gatot ya. Pak Agus dari from Unsud, that we develop the inter-university center or research center to increase not only the number of scholarship holder for master and PhD program, but also to increase the capacity building in research. As we know that Indonesian, we have also a good center in some science, for example, here in Gajah Mada in public health, for example. So we announced to several universities to propose the research center activity together with German university. So that's why we receive actually, or we plan 10 research center in Indonesia. But now we receive only its proposal from several university together. But now there are only 2 has been reviewed by the committee. One is from I think the partner university is Karlsruhe, and the second here is Heidelberg and Gajah Mada University with at the 4th university. So that is one solution to increase the number of scholarship holder. With cooperation, some scientists or some PhD student come to Heidelberg, for example, and then some professor from Heidelberg teach here and conduct research here in Gajah Mada or in Andalas or another partner university. According to the question, where the scholarship is very, for PhD is very low. I think 1,000 euro is, I think we plan 1,000 euro. It's not, actually it's not so low, but as I see the proposal from Heidelberg, from Professor Rainer, that yeah, in our structure, scholarship structure, we have no seminar, what is conference or academic conference in another university, for example. So the conference should paid by the student. When this what is argument needed, I think we can improve our stipendium scholarship structure to give the possibility for student in seminar or conference. Yeah, I think that's all. Yeah, the opportunity for several. Yeah, that is for fast track program. Yeah, the first one. The second program is fast track program. Fast track is to combine the S1 and S2 for 5 years in the same university. For example, in Unsud, for example, that is normally S1 or bachelor for 4 years, and magister is 2 years. When we can combine the master and the bachelor and master only 5 years, we can predict in the in the 3 years we have many candidates from fast track program from Unsud, for example, from IPP. And the question is how we can apply, because the fast track program paid by the Ministry of Education and Culture under PU Beasiswa Unggulan PPKLN, not by Dikti, because Dikti has normal scholarships. So that's why for fast track program, that's paid by financed by the Ministry of Education and Culture under the scheme of Beasiswa Unggulan PPKLN. And this is only for the excellent candidate. Yeah, as we know that a student with 3.5 GPA is not need to finish her or his study in 4 years. He can finish in 3 years together. Together with a master program. So that is one of solution to increase the number of scholarship holder through IGSP or DITSWA program. I think that's all. Yeah, for the proposal, I think the committee will select it and review it in the soon, because they have received the proposal, the technical proposal, and also the financial proposal. And then I think in the few months they will inform. Like now, Gajah Mada and Heidelberg University. Thank you, Pak.
The next one, I would like to invite Professor Reiner to respond.
Yes, I wanted to respond. Thank you very much to Professor Titi. But first, let me give you a brief impression of my vision of capacity building. I think the focus is much too much on training high numbers of doctoral students, as if this was the key of salvation to capacity building. I think you would much better train half, instead of 5,000, 2,500, or even 1,500. You're currently at 10% of your goal of enrollment, and you have problems both on the Indonesian recruitment side and on the German absorption side. And there are reasons for this. I will get into this. So why these phenomenal numbers? I've never seen such a large number program. I fear that low quality and dissatisfaction of the candidates, they will not like the quality of their program. I would think that I would invite you to invest more in the individual student. 1,000 euros per student. The student, you invite these students to have side jobs to survive in Germany. We don't want this. We want students to focus on their work. We need students to have a funded research project. Where do we get this from? We need students to have conference attendances. We need also capacity building. We cannot just add just 20 doctoral students from Indonesia to our current operations. We need help. We need assistant supervisors. We need administrative capacity. So this is craftsmanship. It's not like a master's where you can pump a certain number into a course, admission criteria, and then you get the master degree. This is one-on-one, very labor-intensive, very high-maintenance work. We love to do this, but please think about investing more in the individual rather than going after large numbers. In Germany, it's a compliment, to be frank. And to be honest, maybe this sounds a little bit preposterous to say in the presence of ambassadors, but I think we should be very open and address the issues so that we can improve on both sides. And then if this doctor student, who should be a self-driven future leader in research, able to get their own research funding. And so that you have, when somebody comes back, that you have somebody who doesn't need a lot of hand-holding, who runs his or her own projects and builds your capacity. That is my vision of capacity building. And then your absorption capacity, and we have a couple of positions in the Dead Swap 2 proposals. These postdoc positions, the junior group leaders and so forth, give early independence to young, bright scientists. That is the key in all countries in the world. Don't let them be the assistants of graying professors who help them with the teaching and so forth. That is not the idea. Okay, now the system in Germany. There are 3 stages. The first stage is between the supervisor, let's say the potential supervisor, me, and the student. Somebody contacts me from a country. Hello, I am so-and-so, and I am so much interested in this topic. I negotiate by email. The topic is wonderful, fits my expertise, and the student is wonderful, great CV, great grade, seems to be okay. Then I write, okay, let's scope this, what you want to do, let's fence it in. Is this still okay? Yes. Then I write a letter. Niels Wagenknecht knows this. I write a letter of agreement to supervise that student, given financial support. He goes to the DAD or to whoever and shops around, would you like. That takes half a year. So my dealing is maybe a month if we are quick. Then half a year getting the scholarship. Then I get a letter, I have been accepted, thank you very much, I can come. Then this dossier goes to Bonn, to the accreditation office. Is this really a student who has the level of training, that is compatible with our German standards? That could be shortened if we have a lump agreement that all doctoral students here have this agreement. Then I need to put this person through my faculty committee. That faculty committee looks very carefully. Rainer, do you have really the capacity to do this? Where's the research project that this person is going to work on? Do you want to send him to Africa or to Nepal because you have research projects there? No, they want to do research in Indonesia. Where's the money? Where's the interviewers? Data entry. This is not a dry exercise. This is real work. So that means you need to look at the whole process, and only then our faculty, because they have also quality control function, says, okay, Rainer, you can take on X extra students. I have 15 students now. The average in my faculty is 6. So this is handcraft. I mean, we cannot just do assembly line large numbers, and I would invite you to think with me, and I have already discussed it with DRD. DRD has the same problem, by the way. They also do high numbers, low intensity scholarships, if you allow. I know you will protest, but that is also the feeling of the students that we have, that they get just a scholarship and not much more. So in the process, to cut a long story short, we could, if we have an agreement on here's the package, we could shorten some bureaucratic hurdles in that you say, okay, we only send people with this GPA and this English knowledge. The English, by the way, is a large hurdle. I mean, China, you could say they have 1.5 billion people. Why don't they send more? Their largest hurdle is the pretty perfect English that we require. And so I am not surprised that it is not so easy to generate these large numbers of. And I would also not think you should. Take your time, send the best, prepare them well, we do the best, and then you have much more getting 200 future leaders back than 5,000 who are ill-selected, ill-prepared, and so this is my big plea to you, quality before quantity. That's the best capacity building that I can think of. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Reiner. If there is no response for the first round, and then I would like to open for the second round, please.
Thank you. My name is Niels Wagenknecht. Yeah. I'm a DAAD representative and lecturer at the law faculty at UGM for 3 years now. I would like to have a comment rather than a question. It's about the low number. And this is because I'm also a party to the selection committee in the last 3 years. And I will also be most likely be part in the selection committee on 18 and 19 November. What we identified is that there is about the problems, why we have only such 42 people and why this number still need to be improved. We also ask us for the reasons, and one point is maybe that there is a relatively low number of applications. So this number of applications, of course, always can be increased. Now, everybody can ask himself or herself how to do that, and this is maybe a homework to do. Another point is the quality of application. That means that not all of the applicants that have submitted an application have been accepted. So that is also why not everyone who applies automatically receives a grant. The quality is very important, and the criteria are quite strict in that regard. Another thing is that the IGSP scholarships compete with DAAD scholarships. So it's not only that there are the IGSP scholarships, but DAAD is also offering its own scholarships. And sometimes these scholarships are more favorable for the applicants because they have a family allowance. That means the people can bring the family and get some extra money. There is no minimum age, for example. I think for IGSP, if I'm not mistaken, it is 36. So these are some of the reasons why the number still can be increased, and or why the number is still relatively low. And at least some of the problems can be discussed also, as I understand, on the political level. So this would be my comments. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And then the next one, please. Yeah.
My name is Helmi from Andalas University, Padang. It seems to me that from the discussion we did, that the biggest constraint is how to prepare the high quality of applicants. And I think it takes a long time, we could not prepare in a very short time. So my suggestion that is it possible in this cooperation also to strengthen the master program we have in Indonesian university? So we conduct this master program in English with the involvement of the professor from Germany. With 1 semester they spend in Germany, maybe for the lab work or taking some courses. So the best performing students, those who will be applied. So we ensure that the quality of the applicant is the high quality one, because the German professor already involved in the early beginning of the process. Is it possible to include in this phase 2 depth work program this kind of program as well? So my question also to the boss ambassador and to the Professor Reiner as well. Thank you very much.
If there are no other question in this round, I would like... Oh, the third one, please, Prof. Rita.
Competition among scholars like DAAD and B. So it may affect the numbers, which is quite low. That's just the possibility. However, the main important thing that we need to provide qualified and deep and program for the doctoral program. And we have to look after the students from end to end. It's not starting from the preparation for application, as what Professor mentioned before, but also they may be thrown into this consortium because this consortium is very excellent media to conduct the research, like collaborative research. So the main focus is on the research, and the doctoral students can be fully involved in the research. And also after the research, perhaps we need also to insert some skills how to implement the research to the industry. So it's not stop for the research, but also as what we have to learn from Germany, which has been quite advanced in industrial development. We may also need to learn how to strengthen the engagement between the university and the industry. So it means we have to look after the students, starting from the preparation of the application during the research, then up to how they implement or they initiate the collaboration with the industry. So it is from end to end. And perhaps we cannot do that for many students, just limited, selected, but deeper. So I fully agree with the idea of previous professors and colleagues that we don't need too much worry with the numbers, but with the quality that will be much, much powerful for our future development in science and technology, especially in health. Thank you very much.
With this, I would like to invite any panel members to respond. Professor Reiner, would you?
Yes. Few. The question was whether one could add funds for the master program. And this was the colleague from Andala's University who proposed that this would, if you start early with the capacity building, you would get maybe more candidates that would qualify the rigorous and rightly so rigorous admission criteria. I think that's a good idea. Although you have so many good master programs that I'm happy to consider if the German side can get involved in improving, and we should do so. But I think you have, and we admire you for the breadth and also the depth of your master program. So happy to consider this, maybe with those who run these courses, whether we can be of any help. The second point was, what was the second point? Remind me. The accommodation, now the competition. I mean, if you offer just the ticket and the roof over the head, how can you expect people not to go to DAD or to go to Harvard or to go to others where you get a comprehensive package, where you pay even the, as you say, the deep investment in the doctoral student. So I think I would be very surprised if you offer the students, hello, this is a special research program designed for Indonesia, so research will be done in Indonesia. There is a consortium which will give you opportunities to apply for your return. There is a special, maybe we can even create a special Indonesian research PhD group in Heidelberg with some teaching assistant, training assistants, supervision, some administration. So we have a research school which is fed permanently by this here, and then you get conference attendances, you get specialized courses in, let's say, statistics or climate research, whatever is needed. I would be surprised, and you get not 1,000, but maybe 1,800, a little bit more than DAD. Sorry. So you get competitive scholarship, so that you don't have to work at the gas station or in a restaurant to live, which is not good for your research capacity building. Maybe good for your life experience. So I think we should move, as you said, along the way of more depth, more quality. Then also the admission problem will take care probably of itself. And I would be very happy if we had 100 per year or 150 per year. That's too much. Well, now they are looking at 500. So much fewer but better training. That is still my mantra in this regard.
Thank you. And then Pak Andrianto, and then
thank you, Pak Moderator. Ibu Professor Twikora. I think we should consider the idea of Professor Wartiman at the time, and that is for idiom link and match. So I think link and match is very important to I think the proposed university center. That is not only cooperation between both university or consortium university, but also what is the day after? I mean for the alumni, how can they absorb also in industry? So that's very important. I think for the proposal for the next center. I think two was reviewed, but the rest should be maybe reviewed and then verbatim. What is to be improved, and then for IGSP in the first idea, IGSP, we should produce 5,000 PhD, very ambitious at the time. But now, I think with this reality, I think we should consider to restructure, to improve not quantity but also the quality. So this is what Professor from DAD, I think he knows better how difficult to get the qualify the candidate. That's very difficult in joint selection committee. So that is my.
Dr. Jadi, you have to respond. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Prof. Sriharjo. Responding to the suggestion on strengthening the master program. Within the proposal that we made, there are some elements actually which are moving to that directions. We have thought about joint postgraduate courses at the master level, for example. That is why before this workshop, we actually invite all of the universities to compile their current curriculum, syllabus, and undergraduate and master programs, so we could see where the strengthening can be done. So it is actually also incorporated in this proposal, strengthening a postgraduate program in Indonesia, perhaps just by joint short courses, which is part of the master program. And we also could think of going toward the direction of having this program accredited internationally. Because, for example, in the Gajah Mada University, some of our courses are accredited by TROPET, which is the European Network for Master Postgraduate Training International Health. And if you get accredited by TROPET, then somewhat you can argue that it's comparable to the courses in Europe, because the credit is transferable across from Europe to Indonesia. So that could be something which we can work out also within the consortium to see which courses which is existing, which can be upgraded and can be accredited by a TROPET as well. And I think that can be done if the DEP Swap 2 is funding. And to come back to one of the suggestions in the previous round, which was from our colleague Mullah Warman, Indonesian National Council for Climate Change. Thank you very much for that information. We missed that, and that's a big oops, because I think that's an important point for our consortium, because we also deal with climate change. One practical way forward is in December, Prof. Ud, if I'm not mistaken, we will have a workshop on climate change and health here, and I think we can actually invite this council to be one of a speaker, or maybe also a partner in organizations. There will be an entry point to come into that and collaborate with them. That's it. Thank you.
Next one, Professor Renner seems to have a question to the panel, please.
I reserved the question for last. I have two responses that I still owe you. Somebody, I don't know who, mentioned this Indonesian Council for Climate Research. Yeah, you at the president's level even, you know. That is, I've heard about this, and we will do everything to find out how we can link to this. And that brings me to the question of policy transmission. There's no industry in public health. Many people said we should go to industry. Who's manufacturing health? I mean, the pharmaceutical industry is a different ballgame. They collaborate with medicine. Public health has policy as their partner. So we need to think a little bit more about the link to policy, local, national, global, particularly in climate change. Policy making, that is our partner in practice. And so with this little modification, I agree that we should go the whole way, not only being scientists and juggling scientific proposals, but also making a difference in national and global policies. And both non-communicable diseases and climate change are huge international regulation issues. We have the smoking framework on tobacco control. We will have other issues. We have CO2 regulation and so forth. So that is where the endpoints in society of public health are. But I would come back to, and nobody has answered this so far, so maybe you can do this. And also the German ambassador, I would really try to open your heart to this idea. Climate change is a priority recognized in this country. There is no research center for climate change. I'm not speaking to my own, I'm public health, but we need a partner in hard climate science, climate modeling, scoping of climate models to a population that needs expertise which is not available in Indonesia. And yours is a policy council, very important, but it's not research capacity. So my thinking is that we should use the expertise that's definitely available in Max Planck of Meteorology and Climate Change in Hamburg, the PIC in Potsdam, to think with your president and this council, how can we build this capacity? It's a little bit independent, but very relevant to our global health work here. Now comes the question to the panel. That's the funding gap. I mean, it looks banal, but I'm told, or we are told, it's now in 2015 that the funding starts. We were industrious enough, and I want to really congratulate my friend and colleague, Yodi, to submit months ago. Now we have to wait for 2 years. That will break the momentum. People will be discouraged, and that's the worst thing you can do if a group has done this enormous effort. It's the third time that all the rectors and deans are here. So how can we avoid this gap and this relaxation? Oh, we have to wait now and go to other things. And we had, with your colleague who was here yesterday, we had very creative debates. How maybe money from DS1 can be used, or can you even unblock? And this is now a question to the ambassadors. Can you unblock a first tranche to the of the DS2 to fund those who have already done their homework? Or are we hostage to the last laggard, if you allow, who comes limping in with this proposal in a year? So a little bit, give us some clarity on when you think we can use these tools to. We are ready, as somebody has said from Gajah Mada, we are ready to go, and now there's no funding. My question to my colleagues on the panel. Well, the funding question is obviously to the Siamolek, the Climate Change Center maybe to the German ambassador and yours. Yeah. Both maybe.
But not both at the same time.
Well, not at the same time.
Not like
maybe after me. not like the twin piano. Well, on climate change, I think I have the privilege also to be an advisor to the Indonesian National Climate Change Council. So I have took note of several proposals, especially on the cooperation in health issues and the diseases, and especially Professor Renner, you just mentioned about the research institutes that need to be developed further within the national councils. We thank you very much for that idea, and I have the appointment with Pak Rahmat Bitular. That will be on the 7th October. We will have a Rakernas, the national meeting on climate change issues in the preparation for the COP19 to be held in Warsaw in Poland next November. So I'm quite grateful to have those ideas, and this is something that we miss already for a global health partnership within the climate change, because climate change and health is very much interrelated and interdependent. So I think we need also to focus. Now is the time for the DNPI, for the National Council on Climate Change to deal also to address these issues. So thank you once again, and that is my response on the climate change issues. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Comments, answers, and rather questions, because I'm not entirely familiar with many issues you were discussing and asking for. Adding to Paedi, to Ambassador Pratomo, on the Climate Research Institute, maybe we could use the next meeting of the Indonesia-German Advisory Group to get a suggestion from there to try to set up a cooperation with Max Planck, with the Potsdam Institute, and help to build a Indonesian Climate Research Institute and establish at the same time a cooperation. I mean, the advisory group, they are supposed to make suggestions to the two governments. Why not trying to put it into their mouth? Maybe our leadership will listen to them, if not to us. We can at least try. Second point, again, coming to the issue of science and technology and innovation cooperation with industry, that has nothing to do directly now with our issue here with public health. But still, if you are interested in such issues, we could certainly organize a visit of our scientific attaché together with our expert working in RISTEC, working on the establishment of innovation centers, business and innovation centers. Maybe there is some useful information what universities could do, what might be the right approach to industry and business so as to foster such a cooperation. I'm not an expert myself, but in Germany we have a unique institution. It's called the Fraunhofer Institute, I think existing for more than 50 years now. They are particularly designed for working with, working on behalf, and working paid by business to develop, to further develop, to refine products, so to do innovation. Some information sharing might be helpful there. Now come my questions. You were discussing debt swap 1, since the funds are not quickly being used, whether one could divert some of the money for the new debt swap, or in place of a new debt swap. My understanding is the debt swap was agreed upon by the two governments, so there was probably ministries of finance and some others involved. But I'm not familiar what the exact criteria, conditions, etc. are. In principle, if you have two governments agreeing that some money is being used, it must be possible legally. However, on the other hand, you have not only two governments, you have two bureaucracies. So it might be a pretty cumbersome process. And regarding the question or the issue taken up by Ibu Titi, you said it takes much too long, the admission up to 12 months, and then people might have already a grant or fellowship, but 12 months are used up by it. I wonder why there is not a proper harmonization. If let's say, somebody wants to do a research work, postgrad, doctorate, etc., he would first come to you, ask you, are you interested in my idea? I have that scientific background. Then you work together. Then it will be submitted to the selection committee, and then there would be a fellowship. Is the process in your university at the same time, or is there that risk that the fellowship is there and the process in Germany goes on for another 12 months? Because there seems to be something not in synchronization which should be improved. Again, I ask that question genuinely because I simply don't know enough about it.
Before you respond, I would like...
Professor Reiner, similar as Excellency Ambassador, I am not also not in the position to answer this very difficult questions. But yeah, that swap is agreement between two countries. Many in Indonesia, it is Ministry of Finance Ministry, and also Ministry of Education and Culture. Two amendment. This agreement, I think, take a long time. So that's why I will note it, this question, and then I will discuss with my colleague in Siamolek. Hopefully, they have another solution. You have discussed with my colleagues yesterday. I think I will. I think you are with the right person in the Ministry of Education and Culture, and then he will. I will ask him, and then hopefully we have a good solution for this kick-off. For the implementation of this consortium. Thank you.
The question was by His Excellency whether there is a delay or a lack of synchrony between the funding of a scholarship and the beginning of the actual research. This has happened in the past exceptionally, I must say, and now the university has put in strict rules that the scholarship is only, that the sponsor is informed that the scholarship is only active when the Zulassungsbestätigung is on the table. And that it makes a lot of sense. So there could be a glitch, a last-minute glitch. Somebody has not the Abitur equivalent or so forth, and we also tell the student, unless and until all these steps are done, you are not officially a student. So you have to get through all the hurdles, and then at a certain time. So I acknowledge that this has happened in the past, but it is no longer in Heidelberg, and as far as I know, our other universities also not the case. Thank you.
We still have maybe 10 more minutes for discussion, please. Yeah.
I would like to have a comment on the question whether some of the money could be diverted from the debt swap 1 to debt swap 2. I think it wouldn't be a legal problem, so I would kick the ball back to the political level. It's more whether the people who are involved would agree on that. According to my information, it has already been discussed whether or not to expand the existing debt swap program in order to spend the money that is available, for example, by way of including master scholarships as well. But this question needs to be answered on the political level, and from a legal point of view, I wouldn't say that it is so much of a problem. And that would be my comment.
Just have a different question. How much more time is available for the debt swap 1? It is still long enough. Why apply to debt swap 2? not do that one if the time span is still enough. So decision could come at the end, and then expansion can be made. This is one option. Thank you.
Professor Helmi, boleh saya ini? Debt swap, actually that is for 10 years. We propose to implement the IGSP, Indonesia German scholarship program, only scholarship, not center like now here in Gajah Mada University and Heidelberg University, but that is only pure scholarship to take PhD in Germany with 3 years in German, all 3 years in German. Another type is joint degree and then double degree and so on. But we have no program in inter-university center. So, and then the agreement is for 5 years, I think. For 5 years, the first batch, the first batch, the first batch is 5 years. And then 2015 until 2020. That is for, because altogether is, the number I forget. But as I'm not mistaken, that is 2 batch in the dates of 10. In 10 years. In 10 years.
Just a little bit more question there. Is there any room for amendment?
Yeah, that's it. I think
that's what one of the available for policy. Is there any possibility for amendment to include other activities which is in the proposal we have developed for that one too? If there is any room for amendment, why don't we try that one? So we convince the minister, the director general, or whoever involved in this decision-making process. Thank you.
Well, I think we are at a very crucial moment here. We have heard that DebtSwap 1 is 10 years, it's for scholarships. We have heard that scholarships need to be defined. Is it a naked skeletal scholarship, or is it a scholarship with all the bells and whistles that it takes? We hear that it's no legal problem. We have 2 of the, if you allow, political representatives of the countries here. So would it not be a good idea if we have a declaration, the Yogyakarta Declaration, we, the assembled here, would like to amend and not to change major surgery, not to, I mean, that's a little bit too radical, to use it to just do the DebtSwap 2 work, but just to improve the DebtSwap 1 idea, namely giving scholarships, by making a scholarships more in depth, as you said, and fewer numbers, improve the uptake on both sides and so forth. And then that would be wonderful, but that still begs the question, what do we do with the DebtSwap 2 work? I mean, the capacity building, setup of laboratories, creating of position, that question hasn't been answered yet. Oh, Yodi, am I wrong? Could I maybe, I understand you cannot decide right now, but could you please take our cri de coeur, as the French say, our scream from the heart, that we've done, or you have done all the homework. You were the A+ student. You have submitted your homework the first. Now you're penalized because the others are still behind. So if there could be some solution, Dipti, I mean, your colleague mentioned a couple of avenues. Let's think creatively about it, and then you will hopefully find a solution with Yodi and the others here.
Yeah, in short, I agree with you. I agree with you, and then I will note it this problem. Not problem. I noted this amendment possibility, and then I will discuss with my colleagues in the ad hoc committee. Thank you.
If you need support for this event, then the representatives of the university center of this consortium are willing to come to the table?
I would like to invite maybe in the last response from Dr. Jordi on this consortium, please.
Thank you, Prof. Sri. So, to close up, just allow me to share with you in practical terms what have we thought about what to do in the coming year, at least what has been discussed yesterday during our internal meeting, to keep this fire going, not to put it off while waiting for this political process and debt swap too. So, for one thing, one of the ideas is that next year we will have a global health symposium in Heidelberg, in Germany, inviting representatives, scientists from the 5 universities who are here to present their research studies on topics of global health so that they can share, have an exchange of ideas, and possibly even have a tangible products that by the end, then you have a proceeding which is published as a journal supplement. So you have a clear scientific deliverable by next year. Worst case scenario, using the resources of each university by themselves. But hopefully, if in the meanwhile we could also get other potential funding, then there might be some support. So that's what we expect by June 2014. Before that, here in Jogja, we have also planned a symposium on climate change and health, which is on the first week of December 2013. And that would also be an opportunity to bring together the consortium members and to take up this topic of climate change, because this is one of the key areas within our consortium. So that will be again one opportunity to keep the fire going. And piggybacking to each of these symposiums, we plan to have proposal development workshop, so that we will have also take the opportunities to sit together and write proposals to any opportunities which might arise in the coming months. I've just been informed by Professor Sudraharjo that there might even be some possible funding from Gajah Mada for proposal development workshop, which we could harness. So that's already an opportunity there. And that's more or less, in practical terms, what's going to be happening, at least for the next 12 months. But in the meanwhile, more than welcome if there are any other suggestions, other advice for other action points which we need to do on top of this. Thank you.
Before I close this panel discussion, let me just add one more information that Dr. Yodi just mentioned, that we can provide some seed funding for proposal preparation. So this is for in the maybe next month, this consortium may have the momentum for utilizing these facilitations, and maybe Prof. Wood can manage this so that the group has new additional fuel to burn, so to keep the fire on. Okay, and that's hopefully we'll conclude our discussion. And I would like to thank all these panelists, and let's give a big applause to all the panel members. Thank you.
Thank you.